Alright, so I launched my first app this week. I'll talk about my app, my strategies for launch, and like my plan for the next week or so. Then I'll talk about the mistakes I made so everyone can learn off of it and how I can do better. Like, what is my app and what does it do? So basically, I created a meal plan generator using OpenAI's API. Just input some fields. It goes through the API call and outputs a ChatGPT prompt that is a meal plan. Our meal plan isn't great. I don't know. It's kind of just an MVP at the moment, so I just want to see if this is actually something people want and to see if the market is actually there for it. So it did have a shopping list feature too, which is kind of redundant. It's kind of just there. Like, people can create a shopping list and save it, but it's not really like important or anything. Who is this app for? The main ideal potential client is busy Australians or health enthusiasts who are looking to save time and money, because it takes like an hour out of my day at least to cook lunch and then an hour to cook dinner each day. So if you could just have those meal prepped and like just sitting there, like it's a bit of time saved and money too. Like a lot of people I know, they just get takeout because it's easier once they get home from work or something like that. But that takes a lot of money. People can come up with their own meal plans, so they can just go to ChatGPT, but I also feel like a more centralized app where they can actually track and manage their meal plans might be a little bit more useful. I haven't added macros or anything, but like a macro counter or like managing your macros might also be useful. Who knows? That's why I just want to test the market and get it out there. My ideal potential client is very vague, and like I feel like that's going to be a bottleneck when I get to marketing, as I don't know who to market for. So if I even do get to the marketing stage, I'm sure I'll figure that all out within the next week or so. Anyway, honestly, I think this idea is pretty bad. I think it's a pretty bad idea. And the reasons are, there's no like ideal potential client. Like, the ideal potential client is very vague. The idea is too broad. It's not specific enough. It doesn't solve a specific problem for a specific person, which is very important for like a micro SaaS. And it's not really a serious problem with like immense amount of pain. It's not something that people want to urgently solve. It's more something that's just a nice to have. So that's not something somebody would pay for. If I think this is a bad idea, why did I spend so much time on it? I spent 3 weeks of my life developing and procrastinating. I just wanted to get a finished MVP out there. A lot of time having an idea, developing like half the app, giving up, having a new idea, developing half an app, and then just like I got stuck in that loop. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna come up with an idea, I'm gonna stick to it, and then I'm gonna launch it, no matter how bad the idea is. Just so I wasn't jumping from one idea to the next. Just so I knew like how to launch and like, what I can do better next time. Like, just get a feel for the whole process. That's why I spend so much time on it, even though it's a bad idea. And like, plus, I can gather like valuable information from people. I can see what went bad, like if this is a good idea, if this is an idea that they want, or if like there's something more specific within the industry that they actually need and causes more pain. So I'm definitely more excited to see how the market reacts to this than actually seeing this product succeed. Anyway, how will I approach my next app idea? So I'll think more about the pain point and more about the problem it solves. A potential client more, or like think get that character profile up, so I don't have the bottlenecks when I come to marketing, and I can actually outreach to more communities, like specific communities. What are my strategies for launch? How did I go about launching my product? And what have I done so far? And what am I planning to do, basically, for a successful launch? So I have done a product hunt post, and the launch went better than I expected. I honestly thought I'd get 0 upvotes, and I managed to get 6. So some people think it's a good idea, which is reassuring to a degree, but still no feedback. And when I checked my database, there was no users, so I didn't get any users from it. So I'm assuming people just saw my idea and was like, oh, it's pretty cool, may as well give it a little bit of an upvote. I feel bad for this guy. What do I plan to do to get more eyes and more users on? I'm just going to outreach to a bunch of communities, do some posts on Facebook, school, like Discord, Reddit, and just, I don't know, try to find like people that are into budgeting, meal prepping, and like health. Hopefully get some users on there, send out some surveys, and get some data, and from there, once I analyze the data, I can decide whether to jump ship, pivot, or refine. So it's basically my strategies for launch. There's a lot I could have done better. There's probably more platforms I could have launched on, and I still might launch on it. So my plan for the next week or so, I just want to try to get as many eyes and users onto the product as possible, onto the app. I keep calling it a product, but it's more of an application. And just so I can send out surveys and get some feedback and some valuable knowledge on if this application is even viable, if it's shit, or if I need to like pivot or anything. Or like I could come up with a completely new app idea based on like, the information I gather. So that's probably what I'm most excited about. And I'll mainly do this through outreach methods as explained previously, like through different communities. And I don't see a point of marketing on Instagram or like or social media or even pay-per-view yet, since I don't even have a good application. The UI is horrible. And yeah, it's just shit at the moment. So I plan to get that information before I marketing, and then I'll just decide where to go, what to do. I have a few, like, what I consistently do is I'll come up with an idea, because I'm always thinking about new ideas and like problems to solve in my life, and I just write them down. So I have a bunch of ideas that I'm willing to test. I'm not short of ideas. So that concludes this ramble. I will be surprised if anybody actually sees this besides myself. I think I should probably switch my video content if I'm going for views, but it's more for documentation purposes. Anyway, bye.